We're now going to watch a picture presentation of Jim's life. And as you watch this presentation, please just take the time to think of him and the memories that you have. The body may fade, but the memories don't if we intentionally keep them alive. Mr. Robert Winston, President of DAPTO RSL, is going to come now and bring an RSL tribute for Jim.
Yes, what more can we say? I want to Susan Bryan's place the other day and had a talk with them. A few facts and figures that I didn't even realise. And this is the one thing that always comes out when you do a funeral. The facts and figures that are not really told. The life of a single person, his service to his country. It's only a small group of personnel that are involved in this little community. And I think the reason for that is because we know we had to have one another's backs. Not like today. They don't seem to have that in the in the outside world. It seems to be dog for dog. But being ex-service, all service personnel always had the other person's back. And that's one thing that was always drummed into them. Even today, look after your mates. They're your most important people around you. And as we heard, Jim went to Japan. And the worst part of that was, he went over there on the 13th of February, 1946, as part of the vanguard of about 37,000 strong British Commonwealth occupation force. They went there to keep the peace. It was an occupation force to start off with. But then from 1946 to 1952, they were called the peacekeepers. And it came under the new legislation from that time on. But the worst part was, he was down near Hiroshima. And what was that place? First atomic bomb. They used to go and play football against the Americans on the same field that was radioactive. The hierarchy more than likely knew what was going on, but the average soldier did as he's told. He served his country. They played their sports. They were mischievous, played up, as we've heard. But the one thing you'll never hear from any ex-service personnel, and I think this will go from even today's ex-service personnel, they will never tell you the bad things that have happened to them. That is one thing that they generally take to the grave with them. They'll always tell you the good side, the happy side, but never tell you the bad side. The only way you get to know that is if you sneak into a room where they're sitting down with their mates and having a beer. And if you can sneak up and sit in a chair behind them, you might get to hear some of the other stories that they've got to tell. They do not really want their friends, their families, to know the bad side. They just want them to know the good side. When I was sitting there in the chair, I happened to look at his medals. And where I'm sitting, there's a light just shining on them. And the gleam from that light, to me, represents his life. He was a shining personnel. And therefore, like I said to his family, every ex-service personnel, whether he's in an RSL or not, is entitled to an RSL service. Their bodies are buried in peace and their name liveth forevermore. Of valiant hearts, who to your glory came, through dust of conflict and through battle flame. Tranquil you lie, your kindly virtue proved, your memory hallowed in the land you loved. The hour has come for rest. This poppy, an emblem of sacrifice, the symbol of a life offered in the services of one's country, is a link between our comrade and us who remain. And we place it here in remembrance. I now invite those who have their poppies, could they please place them on the coffin. For this part of the service, the family may remain seated. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemned. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them, lest we forget. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.